right, so welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. And this time we're taking a look at this review of Dandadan that you sent over. It looks absolutely wild.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got ghosts, we got aliens, and high schoolers just trying to figure out life.
hmm
So first off, for anyone who hasn't had the chance to check out Dandadan yet, can you give us like a super quick rundown? Like, what's the basic premise of this anime and what makes it so unique?
Yeah, so basically, Dandadan follows these two high school students, Momo Ayaz and Okarun.
Okarun, okay.
Yeah. And they are complete opposites. Momo is like totally into the occult. She believes in ghosts, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
While Okarun is all about aliens. He thinks UFOs are real, extraterrestrial life, the whole 9 yards.
Classic anime trope right there.
Totally. So, naturally, they both think the other is completely delusional.
Of course, gotta have that conflict.
Exactly. But then they make this pact to prove each other wrong. And let me tell you, things get really weird really fast.
I can imagine.
Yeah, like really weird.
Well, and that's what I think is so interesting about this whole premise. It's not just your typical, like, oh, there are ghosts and aliens kind of story. It's the way Dandadan blends these elements together and just throws you into this whirlwind of absurd situations.
Totally. And one thing the review really highlights is this constant subversion of expectations. Like,
Yeah.
you'll think you know where the story's going, and then bam, it throws a curveball at you, something totally unexpected.
Yeah. The review mentioned a scene in a haunted tunnel. What happens there?
Oh, man. That scene is just pure Dandadan. So Momo and Okarun, they're exploring this tunnel, right? Everyone says it's haunted, so they're both prepared for a spooky ghost encounter.
Makes sense.
But instead of finding a ghost, they run into this. Well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but let's just say it involves turbo grannies and some seriously unexpected anatomy.
Turbo grannies.
Yep, you heard that right. It's
Yeah.
totally bonkers, but in the best way possible.
That's incredible. I've got to check this out.
You definitely do. It's one of those scenes that perfectly captures the show's humor and creativity. It's like the creators are saying, hey, we know what you're expecting, but we're going to give you something even weirder and more hilarious.
That totally plays into this feeling I got reading the review that the show never lets up. It's like it's just constantly on, fast forward.
Exactly. And the review points out that Hiroshi Seiko, the screenwriter, is a big reason for that pacing.
He's done some pretty popular shows, right?
Oh, yeah, some big ones. He adapted Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen for the screen, so he definitely knows how to translate action and intensity from manga to anime.
Makes sense. But with Dandadan, it seems like he's cranked that energy up to 11.
Definitely. And it works so well because it just mirrors the chaotic energy of the world that Momo and Okarun are thrust into. It's like everything is happening at once and they're just trying to keep up.
Well, and visually, the show seems to capture that chaos perfectly. From what I've seen, the animation is just bonkers in the best way.
Oh, absolutely. It's done by Science Saru, the studio behind Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken. They're known for their really unique and expressive animation style.
Yeah, I loved Aizuken.
Yeah, me too. And in Dandadan, they just take it to a whole other level. The animation is super fluid and dynamic, lots of exaggerated movements and expressions and these like really trippy visuals that perfectly complement the supernatural and sci-fi elements of the story.
It feels like it would be easy for a show like this to get lost in all that chaos, like just become a series of wacky events without any real substance.
Right. It could easily become overwhelming.
Yeah, but the review mentions that the character dynamic between Momo and Okarun really helps ground the show.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. Their relationship is what gives Dandadan its heart. Like you said, they start off as these rivals, these complete opposites, constantly bickering and trying to one-up each other. But as we go through these crazy adventures together, they start to see past their differences and they learn to appreciate each other's strengths. It's a really fun and endearing dynamic to watch unfold.
And does the review say anything about the overall reception to the show?
Oh, yeah. It seems like it's been a huge hit. Critics are raving about it, praising the unique premise, the animation, the humor, the writing, and the music.
Sounds like a home run.
Pretty much. It seems like Dandadan has really struck a chord with anime fans who are looking for something fresh, exciting, and completely out there.
I gotta say, after hearing you talk about it and reading the review, I'm definitely adding Dandadan to my watch list ASAP. It sounds like the perfect blend of humor, action, and just plain weirdness.
Oh, it is. You won't be disappointed.
So I gotta ask, given all the crazy creatures and challenges that Momo and Okarun face in the show, what kind of encounter would you be most excited or maybe terrified to have if you were thrown into that world?
That is a tough question. There are so many possibilities, I think. I think I'd be most intrigued to encounter one of those turbo grannies. Maybe challenge them to a race, see who's faster.
All right, I'd definitely watch that episode.
Me too.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. A huge thanks to you for sharing your insights on Dandadan. I'm even more excited to check it out now.
No problem. It was my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, if you're looking for an anime that's a little different, a little bit wild, and a whole lot of fun, then definitely give Dandadan a try. It's streaming now on a variety of platforms, so there's no excuse not to jump into this wacky and wonderful world.
You won't regret it.
And be sure to let us know what you think about Dandadan. Hit us up on social media and share your thoughts, theories, or your own dream encounters in that crazy universe. Until next time, happy watching.